So there's one story I left out last night. I mean, there's a lot of stories, but just I was reminded of it at dinner. And I just want to say it because it was significant for me. A couple tangents on this. I was brought up around Krishnamurti. If you've never read his material and it occurs to you to check it out, check it out. He's a very beautiful, interesting man. And his teachings basically were, don't follow anybody, be your own light, sort of Buddhist type things. Awareness. And yet there I was, you know what I mean, wanting to dress like Krishnamurti, read every book by Krishnamurti, every video, well, there weren't videos back then, but he was like an example of the teachings, like how to live it. And it was like, I don't know, I think it's important to see the actuality of it, not just read about it, but like to actually see someone living the teachings. And yet his teachings were, like I'm not the guru, don't follow me, that sort of thing. Iyengar was sort of the opposite of that. This is what he said to me. He said, Krishnamurti says don't follow anybody, but I say follow the best. But it always had a weird twang to it, as though, follow me, I'm the best. But I understood what he meant. And like for me, it was sort of like handling both of those. Yeah, follow the best and become your own light, essentially. And you don't even become your own light. You just realize that you are the specific and unique self-expression of the light that you're not responsible for. You had nothing to do with the fact that you exist. You didn't make you. You are the self-expression of the all. You're not like the prime mover. God may be all there is of you, but you're not like God, the prime mover. You know what I mean? And so there I was trying to balance Krishnamurti teachings and Iyengar teachings, and they were both valuable. And then when I started teaching yoga, first I was teaching Desikachar style, all private classes, and then as I started shifting into the Iyengar methodology, I was still at the Krishnamurti school teaching. I started doing group classes. That way I didn't have to do 100 privates a week. So I started doing small group privates with everybody. And that was fun. Like fewer classes. And I was doing my best imitation of Iyengar. Now, Iyengar is very Rajasic. And Rajasic is somebody who is very fiery, has a lot of energy. And I'm not typically very Rajasic. And in order for me to get into Iyengar mode, I had to get all amped up before class and listen to the Rolling Stones and kind of get all gung-ho. And I was doing my best to teach like him. He was very hands-on doing adjustments and often very strong adjustments, verging on, I didn't think they were abusive, but many people did. They could be interpreted as such. My first class with him, I was in London. I was doing warrior pose where your arms are up in the air. My chin was pulled down a little too much. And he came over and went, right in my chin. Whoa. This is yoga class? I never did that again when he was around. You know what I mean? So like it made me alert. I could have interpreted it differently, but it was like he was speaking in a language that got my attention. He was very good at slapping people. And again, on the one hand, it was like, what? And yet on the other hand, the way he talked about it was he was awakening your intelligence. And yeah, he was. He would slap me or touch me or push me, and it was like, oh yeah, thank you. It made me more attentive. The more attentive I was, the less he had to do it. So it wasn't like he was just habitually like walking around slugging everybody. But it was his sort of Rajasic nature to teach like that. And he was my role model, sort of at that point. And so I was doing my best Iyengar imitation, teaching at the Krishnamurti school, teenagers, high school, me not much older than them, and this one kid from California was in class, and he just wasn't pulling his kneecaps up in triangle, like class after class, no matter how many times I tried to awaken his intelligence by, like slapping his knee. And finally, one day, he just hauled off. He just totally elbowed me. They're like, whoa. And I got it.
He awakened your intelligence.
He awakened my intelligence. He snapped me out of my Iyengar imitation mode, and I changed my ways. And then I was able, I had to learn how to do it, but how to go into the class and not imitate so much, but be inspired by people's teachings, but how does it actually want to come out through me? And it wasn't wanting to come out by hitting people or even shouting, So that was just a big moment in my teaching career. And I was reminded of it last night, and I just wanted to say that. But there's a lot of stuff like that happens in a life, So, day 2. Glad everyone's here. I hope everyone slept okay. I'm glad you were warmer last night.